Hi there, today I'm going to look at some exercises, grade 1 exercises from the Trinity book, and we're going to warm up with some tunes, or some exercises I should say, from Team Brass on page 28. So page 28 takes us all the way to upper C. Let's do the very first tune as a warm up, so it starts on A. Ready? So we're going to play 2 beats on each note. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, I hope you managed to get all the way through that without any trouble at all. If we go straight on to the next one now, we have the same kind of thing, a little bit faster. So after 4, here's our pulse. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's our warm-up. So now we are going to go straight on to Team Brass, the Trinity book on page 6 and 7. So what we need for these tunes is to be able to play a scale of C major. So let's just do that. You can either go back to page 4 and 5 in the Trinity book, or you can look on page 28 where we just were. We've got our C major scale. So let's try that together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. And the arpeggio of C. Ready? 1, 2, off we go. Shall we try that? Both of those slurred actually, so just tonguing the very first note of each one. The rest of it is slurred. So let's try the scale of C major first. 1, 2, big breath, and. And let's see if we can do the arpeggio. Big breath. 1, 2, off we go. So that might be a little bit harder. If you need to, you can go back to those slurs we've practiced before on page 16 in Team Brass. Okay, let's look at the first tune or study. It says finger technique. That's what it's practicing. 3 easy peasy. So the first thing we do is we look at the time signature, and we can see it's in 3, 4. So the 3, the top number tells us how many beats in a bar. The bottom number tells us that we're talking about crotchet notes, or crotchet beats rather. So the very first bar has got 3 notes in it. Each one is a crotchet. So it means 3 crotchet beats in a bar. And you can decide on the tempo or the speed. There's a recommended speed. It says moderato with a lilt, bit of a sway to it. But if we're going to practice it from the beginning, you can go at any speed you like, as long as you have 3 in a bar. Now this is wrong. If we went like this, if I just put my trumpet down a minute, and if we clap 3, or clap, what should we do? Clap 3 beats. This is what I sometimes hear. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now there's something wrong there, isn't there? Because there's a gap at the end, and that's because we're used to counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So can you put the 1 on your knees and go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So there's our bit of a lilt, a bit of a sway, and a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now again, as I say, you can slow it right down if you want to. I'm going to play 3 easy peasy at that sort of speed. It also says MF, which is mezzo forte, so not too loud. Okay, I'm going to count 2 bars and then I'm going to play it. Join in if you like, or pause the video and practice it, come back and play it with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that was quite fast. You wouldn't be able to play it probably like that for the first time, but now you've heard it, the next stage is to clap the rhythm of the tune. So we clap the pulse first. Let's do it slower. So the pulse would go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So think about that pulse. Now we're going to clap the rhythm of the tune after 3. Ready, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one with you. That's how you would unpick that tune. You've obviously got me playing it first. You can have a listen, but if you have no idea how something goes, get the pulse going first and then start to think about how the notes or the rhythm of the tune could fit with that pulse. So if we look at the next one called March to the Top, let's apply the same logic. Now this might feel a little bit easier. What's the time signature? It's in 2/4, so 2 beats in a bar, 2 crotchet beats in a bar. So a kind of a marching tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're more familiar. Let's slow it down a bit. 1, 2, because it's like a walking or a marching tempo. Let's try clapping the rhythm of the tune after 2. Ready, 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 1, and 2, and 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 1, and 2, and 1, 2, 1, and 2, and 1, 2, 1, 2. Now be careful at the end. The last 2 bars, it feels like it's slowing down. So don't, from the G's, don't do this. 1 and 2 and dun, 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 because those, the A and the B have to go slower. The last 3 bars go like this. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so stop the video, have a think about the pulse, march on the spot, and then try to clap the tune. You can go, the rhythm of the tune, you can go a lot slower than that if you want to, and then start to unpick the notes. Now we practiced our scale at the beginning, but we didn't practice our arpeggio. Let's practice our arpeggio now. If you need to look at it, it's on page 28 in Team Brass or on the page before in the Trinity book. And the arpeggio notes are C, E, G, C, G, E, C. C being our home note. Let's play it together. 1 and 2 and. The reason why I say that is because I look at March at the Top and the first 4 notes, because the second note is repeated, are the notes from the arpeggio. So the first 4 notes go 1, 2. And if we look at note number 5, it comes back down. But this is why we learn our arpeggios. In bar 1, 2, 3, from the F, it goes a little bit down the scale. So again, that's why we learn our scales and arpeggios. So I'm going to play the tune, turn the video off and have a practice, and then turn it back on and see if you can play along with me. Here it is, a slow march. 1, 2, 1, 2. louder at the end. So there you go, the first and second exercises from the Trinity Grade 1 exercises book. I'll just show you the cover again. This is on page 6. So have a practice. That will get you really good at your finger technique and thinking about how to apply the rhythm and the melody to the pulse of the tune. There you go. Bye-bye.